Okay, so if you don't mind to turn on the camera just to make sure this is like the standard operating procedure, just to make sure that you're still alive behind there. Okay, not putting any, you know, any dolls or any teddy bears or something else. Okay, don't put the videos of you moving. Yeah, sometimes students quite, you know, clever in terms of doing this. You know, they just leave their videos, moving videos on the camera, and then, you know, the lecturer thought that this is like, you know, a real person, but actually it's you know, recording. Okay, I hope that your video now is a live and real one. Okay, while waiting for some of your friends, you can use your I attend attendance. Use the same link that I have provided last week. So there's a similar one. Okay, so as for today, suppose this is the week 2, but based on the course outline, the week 2 is supposed to cover the similar topic that we have discussed in lunch last week, right? So we can just go like quickly if you want, or if you don't want, then we can just continue with the next session. So which one do you prefer? Who is your class leader, the section leader? Is she around? Who's your section leader? No, you couldn't remember. You can have your breakfast if you want, okay? That's fine. You can drink coffee, tea, okay? Small snack, okay? That's fine with me, okay? Because it's quite early. So since I didn't get any response while waiting for your, I think another maybe 6 people to come and join us. So if you want to contact them so that we can, you know, discuss together regarding this subject. So remember, UNGS 1201 is not meant to complicate your life. Okay, we want to make your life easier, and the discussion is up to you and up to us too. Okay, we want to discuss and understand what is the preferable outcomes for this course. So this is quite easy. We don't want to touch more details or any deeper regarding UNGS 1201. Maybe you already, you know, saturated with the plethora of information that you receive from your core subjects, okay, during the weekdays. So I suppose the UNGS 1201 is a brief introduction on how you can handle or maintain your well-being, and at the same time you can perform or you can score for your academic performance. I saw like someone is still getting in. I think we need to continue because I have another session. Is that all right? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So as for today, we jump to the week 3 lectures. Let me have a look. This is the UNGS 1201. Today we want to learn about the Islam and sustainable development. Why Islam, as you said, like in the previous class, you've maybe mentioned about the sustainable development goals for number 18. So this is going to be the last spiritual, I mean, the last values that we want, or the last goals that we want to highlight, and why Islam is brought quite early inside this lecture. In this week 3, we want to cover Islam and sustainable development. Obviously, this is week 2, okay? But I have covered the week 2 lectures together with the week 1 last week. But we will have another replacement class for the revision, all right? So don't worry too much on that. When we talk about Islam, in this topic, what Islam, how Islam relates? Yes, Nas, do you have any question?
Doctor,
You raise a hand, yes?
is this class considered as replacement class or our fixed class?
Replacement? No, this is not replacement. This is the a continuation.
Oh,
Yes.
so after this, do we have class in the same time or at, you know?
The time is not fixed. Okay, the time can be changed as we move on. Okay, maybe week 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we can find a fixed time. All right.
Oh, okay, but still Tuesday lah.
Still Tuesday. Yes, we try to do it Tuesday. Um, but Tuesday is a big problem because I have another class from 5 to 7. So it's a big clash there. That's why we keep on, changing the
Changing
time.
time.
Okay, unless you can find another time, maybe Thursday 5 to 7, something like that, or Friday, like previously 11 to 1, something. Okay, so you need to discuss. Try to avoid Tuesday 5 onwards.
Oh,
As for the replacement class, if we miss any weeks or if you want to come and discuss with me, so I'm available even up to 10 p.m. at night. Okay, we can still have replacement class, but for the normal class, the regular class like today, it has to be conducted during the weekdays. Okay, the
okay.
normal working hours between 8 to 5 p.m. Okay, so as for
Okay.
today, we want to learn about the Islamic ways of thinking, how Islam can be integrated with the sustainable development, how Islam promotes the sustainable development, how Islam apply and how Islam analyze in this context, okay, the sustainable development. Is this new to Islam or is it has been, discussed quite long time ago? So the first objective is to understand the SD from Islamic perspective. That's the first one. The second, we want to explain how Islam has been expounding the concept and practice of the SD. The third one, we want to understand the teachings of Islam on economics, environment, and social sustainability. And how is the interrelation between these core components? The fourth one, we want to analyze the relevance of maqasid sharia. In other words, is the objective of the rulings or the sharia and sustainable developments. What is the association? What is the relation? And then finally, we want to identify the dynamics of Islamic teaching in solving the contemporary issues of unsustainable development. How Islam can offer the solution for the unsustainable development, or in Arabic we call it fasad. Okay, so the first point, we want to describe Islam and environmental. Secondly, we want to go and read through and discuss about Islam and social, and after that, the impact on the economics. Okay, sorry about the numbering, it's the 1, 2, and 3. All right. So how should Muslim treat unsustainability issues? So first of all, you need to know what is unsustainability issues. All right, so I will open, since this is a continuous evaluations. So I suppose all of you are already prepared with set of questions and also set of ideas or opinions that you want to share, so that I can take it down and then give what we call a relevant marks for you. Okay, so remember, this is depend on your performance and your activity throughout the class. Okay, So my question is how Muslims treat unsustainability issues. But before we go to how Muslims treat, we want to know what is considered as unsustainability issues. Anyone want to give their opinion? What do we mean by unsustainability issues, or the definition of unsustainability? The word is quite difficult to pronounce. Okay, so anyone want to share with us? Nas want to share? You raise your hand.
I didn't raise.
Okay, you didn't raise your hand. I'm sorry. Let's have a look if we have some other people who want to share with us. Anyone, you can just shout.
Doctor,
Yes.
I think from what I understand, sustainability is basically where there is imbalance. In a simplified way, I will say in terms of demand and supply. It can possibly producing waste. For example, like we producing more than we supposed to, and resulting to waste. For example, like the fast fashion. And then it also can be in terms of we are about to demand, but we are not preserving the nature. For example, like the development, so happen to be the excessive deforestation. But the truth is, for the residential development itself, it is not catering to the basic need. For what we have to focus on. For example, like we're supposed to provide house and residential for people that are in the poverty in a developed what we say affordable residential. But instead what we see today is we have excessive development for housing that average mediocre people couldn't afford. So that is what I understand as unsustainable.
Okay, correct. Also, thank you, Auni. So this is unsustainable. You relate with the environment. Okay, some of them related with the pollution, with the chaos, or what would be the what would be happening to the nature as the product of human activities. And also, you want to highlight those unfortunate people who need shelters. Okay, they are maybe very poor and they need a sustainable what we call sustainable alternative for them to stay alive. Okay, so it's very good. So how should Muslim treat these things? Okay, when we talk about Muslim, it's not a human being. Okay, Muslim context. Okay, as a Muslim, what the religion say about this? How should you treat those poor people, for example? So how do you think? Okay, what do you think about this context? Anyone? So I will take note, Auni, just now for giving the response. Thank you for that. Anyone want to share with us? This is very, this is very easy because at Darjah 1 or Darjah 2, and even in Tadika, right? Preschool also they teach about this. Feed the poor, okay, give sadaqah. Okay, so how do you want to relate with our discussion today? Anyone who want to raise hand, and then you can just unmute. Okay, Nas and Abdurrahman, maybe Nas first, and after that Abdurrahman. Yes, Nas, you want to unmute? What's your thought about this?
The first one or the second one?
The first one.
So maybe I will start with issue of racism. Yeah. So as we all know, racism is something that is uncontrollable and very unsustainable, because till these days, racism is keep on going and never got any better. So how Muslim or Islam itself handle this, I think the perfect example is from the zaman jahiliyah, where before the before Nabi Muhammad uh, preaching about Islam, there a lot of racism among their race, like, bani there, bani tu. So for me is Islam teach us to what we call that, apa nama perkataan tu, baik, bukan baik, apa bang, uh, uh,
Ukhuwah.
yes, thank you. Ukhuwah. So Islam teach ukhuwah among the race. So there's no kasta, or there's no level among the race, because Islam see people are the same. There's no higher level, there's no lower level. So it's really a right thing to do, and it's a really a perfect teaching where we can avoid this racism. So for me, Islam has a perfect example to treat racism. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, thank you. So you say that the unsustainable issue is that people keep on practicing racism. Yes, and then
Yes.
how should Muslim treat this condition? So every time we should be the leader in these issues. Okay, we should be the leading um, cluster or the leading entity to solve these issues. There's say no to racism. Okay, there's no difference between you Muslim and also the Chinese, or the Chinese and the Indians. All right, Indians and the Sikh. All right, in the eye of Allah, Muslim are all vicegerent, or they are all the caliphates or the Khalifa that needs to preserve and protect the land. Okay, so we should be the leaders in handling these issues. We should discourage, okay, any sorts of unsustainable racism issues in our communities. Okay, in the campus, maybe I can say like maybe 97% of us are Muslim, maybe another 3% of them are non-Muslim, but there should be a problem, because the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to live even in Makkah, okay, during the time of Jahiliyyah, and also after the Hijrah into Medina, where lots of the Jews still there. Okay, so how the Muslim, how the non-Muslim can stay together in harmony and continue to achieve consensus in their planning to lead their life, okay, or to lead their countries. Okay, so it's very good insight on that. The second person who want to share just now is Abdurrahman, is that correct?
Yes, Doctor.
Go on, Abdurrahman, what's your thought on this?
My thought on the relevance of Rukun Islam, okay, Doctor?
Yes. No, the first one.
The first one.
Yes, sorry, the first one, yeah, not the second one. Abdurrahman, you still here? You still there?
Sorry, I was muted, Doctor. I accidentally
You want the
mute
second
myself.
one. If you want the second one, go on for the second one. That's no problem.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So the relevance of Rukun Islam and sustainable development, as we all know, there is the fourth Rukun, the fourth rule in Rukun Islam, which is the giving zakat to everyone. So the giving zakat is required to all Muslim that are capable of giving the zakat. So that we can help the needs like the poor people, the fakir miskin people that cannot have the sustainable development, like they do not have enough money, maybe because they do not have they couldn't afford a job, therefore they maybe couldn't pay the house rent, they cannot get food for their family. But with the Rukun Islam that is mandated on each Muslim individual, which is to give zakat, this problem can be handled because we can give the money to the needs, to the fakir miskin, so that they can uh, like they can at least sustain their daily needs, like the foods, like their clothes, maybe pay the house rent, maybe pay for their vehicles and so on. So that means Islam really takes care of Islam really care about the sustainable development, because it is what we call as wajib for each Muslim to pay for the zakat.
Okay, thank you. So Islam, tremendously offer solution to every single problems and issues that we are facing even nowadays. Yes, and I think, okay, based on your response, I think I do not need to teach you anymore. Okay, maybe we have to stop up to this point because you already passed everything. Okay, because from the first part, when I asked you about the engagement question, some of you already told me, okay, we have to feed the poor. Okay, that's related to the social sustainability. Is that right? Okay, and I did also mention about the pollution. Okay, that's related to the environment, isn't it? Yes. And the third one is the Abdurrahman said, okay? Nas also.
Yes.
Is it clear? It's not clear. Can you hear my voice now?
Yes.
Can you hear my voice now? Is it not clear? Is it clear or not clear?
Clear,
It's
clear.
Now it's
unstable.
clear.
Clear now, clear.
Yep.
Sometimes the internet is a bit issues. So now there's what do we call it? Maybe this is unsustainable connection, we call it. Okay, so we have summarized all the three main components. Okay, what Nas, Auni, Abdurrahman mentioned, this is all related what we want to see. Okay, how Islam offers solution to the economic so that it becomes sustainable, how Islam offers the solution to the social, so all people have their rights, okay, live in harmony, and how Islam offers solution to the economics, okay, the environments. All right, how Islam save these issues and then try to deal with it and maintains a proper harmony inside the community. Okay, that's what we want to learn today. The concept of sustainable development in Islam can be defined as the balance and simultaneous realization of consumer welfare, economics, attainment of social justice, and ecological balance in the framework of an evolutionary knowledge-based, socially interactive model defining the shuratic process. The shuratic process is the consultation or participatory ruling principle of Islam. As this is the basic ideas about what sustainable development in the Islamic perspective, right? How about this sustainable development? Is it a new, or is it already mentioned or been discussed previously? So this is not new concept to Muslim, right? The Quran and the Sunnah have delineated all the related sustainable findings or sustainable issues that were to be addressed by Muslim. It encompasses from the welfare, okay, social, how we as a Muslim in the politics, right, in conserving the nature. There are over 500 verses or more, okay, in the Quran that highlights this importance relating to the environment, how you deal with it, and the very significant amount of example that the Prophet have shown, okay, as a model of justice and equity. Some of them already been highlighted by your friends. Okay, maybe you want to highlight when we discussing about your assignment, maybe you want to see how the Prophet show us, if this correct, okay, how the Prophet show us how he can come out with the sustainable solution from the moment he's been assigned as the messenger until his uh, death. Okay, maybe there's lots of more examples and you want to include the Quranic verses too. What's the relation between Islam and also development? As a Muslim, we are bound to obey, or we are bound to serve the 5 principles of Islam. Okay, you have this Rukun Islam, the fundamental Islamic principle. And today we want to see, and in this slide we want to see what is the relation, how Islam come into action so that the development is not a new thing. Okay, it's about the dynamics of the triple helix relationship. They are interrelated. For example, when you going vertically, you're submitting to Allah. At the same time, you're going horizontally, right? You are dealing with the human being in the community, in your class, in your lectures, your family members. Okay, you can socially interact with them. But you as a single entity, you have to submit to Allah. Okay, your what we call your relation to Allah will determine your horizontal relation with the human being. If this good, all right, if this increasing your deeds is good, I mean you are very not pious, but you are very, you know, you practice in a good practice of Islam, and then your iman will increase, and at the same time the effect will also increase or spread out towards the colleagues or your professors or your lecturers. Okay, it's a reflections of what you have done. Okay, when you're good in terms of your relationship with Allah, you also might be good in terms of handling the human beings. In between, you need to know that while you serving Allah and the human being, there are another creatures that is worth to be addressed. That is your environment, the nature, the sunnatullah. Okay, you as a human, as a single entity or in a group, you have to observe how do you protect the environment. How about the flora? How about the fauna? Okay, how about the animals, the endangered species? How do you protect them? How do you revive them from death? Okay, in terms of the plants, how do you want to replant any endangered species? So this is the way. Okay, with the animals, with another makhluk, okay, another creations, or it can be the air or the pollutions, or sorry, the atmosphere. How do you prevent the climate change? So this is your task. So again, in between you and the human being, while dealing with these two entity, you as a human are also entitled to address the environment. So we can create a mizan or a balanced ecosystem in what we are doing. So this is not a new thing. As a Muslim, we have to encourage this thing to be happening equally and in equilibrium. Okay, so you will not, you know, more towards the human being only, you busy with the human welfare, but you neglecting your responsibility to Allah, and you are not achieving any balanced state. Okay, what do we mean by sustainable development? It's a holistic approach. You're taking this interrelated component and applied it into yourself, into your own self, so that you can be a person of a good perspective or a good Muslim. How about Islam look at the environmental sustainability? How the Islamic teaching protect the environment? Okay, previously we have gone through just a quick highlight or insight. Now I want to open to the discussion. If someone want to give their opinion, obviously this is more than welcome. My question is, how Islamic teaching, from since you being, you know, brought up from the day school till the university period, you have been exposed to lots of Islamic teaching, right? So how this Islamic teaching protect the environment? I want you to give an more realistic example so that we can discuss and get the idea behind this. Anyone want to say, just raise up your hand and then you can quickly speak on that. Anyone?
Me.
Me, there are lots of me curry, me hon, me
I am Shifa.
Shifa. Okay, go on. What's your thought?
So how Islamic teaching protect the environment? As we know, Prophet Muhammad SAW asked us to not cut the trees on the wall, means during the war. So it shows us Islam forbids wasting of resources and destroying the environment. Sorry.
Again, Shifa, not clear. You speak louder. You shout a bit. Shout. It's not clear. Okay. Shout. Okay. Speak the same volume.
Okay. How Islamic teaching protect the environment? As we know, Nabi Muhammad SAW, Prophet Muhammad SAW, asked us not to cut the trees during the war. So it shows us Islam forbids wasting of resources and destroying the environment. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Shifa. It's very good. So I think this is in Hadith, okay, one of the Prophet's Hadith, and there must be reason why the Prophet ﷺ forbid us from, you know, cutting the trees during the war. There must be reason behind it. Anyone knows about that? Anyone want to share? Why? Why is it forbidden?
Doctor,
Yes.
I think it is forbidden for us, for Muslim to cut the tree without permission, because the tree is the main source for human to get oxygen, and at the same time the tree become habitats or the place for animals to live. So in order to maintain the sustainability of creatures in this world, the tree must be kept accordingly, and that's all.
Thank you, Anis. Very good. So Shifa said that, oh, this is, you know, during the war. Can you imagine? You are from your house, okay, from your location, your local town, and then you are entering some other alien places, and then you go to some other people, like, you know, some other gardens belong to other people, and then you just cut the trees, okay, and then you just, you know, take all the fruits, for example, without permission. So that's that's why the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam forbid this. You have to observe your characteristic, your attitudes. If you're going for war, then just go for war. Okay, do not exceeding the limit. All right, war is, I mean, killing the people. All right, you have to protect yourself. Okay, even though that's, you know, one of the what we call advices, but also during the war you are not advised to kill the kids. You have to protect the old ladies, okay, the old generation, the old people. Okay, Islam want to set that you have to be healthy in order for you to go against the healthy people. I mean, it should be apple to apple. You have to fight the people that are at the same level with you. All right. Up to that point, Islam want to highlight these issues. Okay. Obviously, we know that the plant is important habitat for the, you know, for the bacteria underground, and also on top of that, okay, of the tree, it can be some bird's nest, okay, for the birds to stay alive. So the whole tree is now is important if that's meant, okay, by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, if that's meant by the Prophet. Okay, so this is why, okay, Islam offered earlier solution, and this is not being taught into, I mean, in any religions before. Okay, the way that the Prophet solved this issue, that means that he have the relation with the God. Okay, wama yantiqu anil hawa illa wahyun yuha. Okay, the Prophet does not, you know, give an advice on his own hawa or nafsu or his own desire, but instead it's the revelation, it's the thinking or the ideas that has been injected into his brain, and it can be applied into daily practice. So that's what we want to see from this context. All right, Islam and environmental sustainability. The overarching principles, the use of nature, is derived from the prophetic declaration that states there shall be no damage and no infliction of damage. The right to benefit from essential environmental elements and resources such as water, mineral lands, forest, fish and wildlife, arable soil, air and sunlight is in Islam. A right held in common by all members of the society. And every individual, okay, is entitled to benefit from the common resources subject to establishing the degree of need. Needs have to be differentiated from wants. Okay, what do you need shouldn't be similar to what you want and the impact on the environment. Each and every person in this world have to have this in their mind. If one of them does not follow these rules, okay, or for what we call modify, or what do we call it, change these rules, then there must be some damage inflicted on the environment. So this is a declaration, the saying from the Prophet, that the Prophet says that there shouldn't be no damage. Okay, first one. The second one, neither the infliction of damage. Okay, even if you have this inclination to do the damage, but you have to stop it. You forbid it from happening. Okay, so this is very important for us to relate with the environmental context. The right to benefit from the nature are linked to accountability and maintenance of the conservation of the resources. Like Prophet also uses to advise some of the Sahaba, the companions, when they are taking shower inside the, not shower, taking bath inside the running a flow of a river. And then the Prophet say, okay, even though you are inside that one, okay, in the river, you can, you have to take wudu, you can use the water for bath, but please do not be extravagant, do not be excessive. Even though you see that's a very big river, but the Prophet wants to teach us the attitude towards the environment. Just take what you need, and in turn, you have to contribute back for its conservation. So it's what we call an equilibrium, in equilibrium. So once you have, used that resources, remember to replenish it back. Or maybe you just don't throw anything or dump any waste inside the river. So this is one way for us to be appreciative, or to be a grateful Muslim of what Allah has granted to us. In Malaysia, we can say that we live in a peaceful country. Okay, maybe 60% clean in the town, okay, or maybe like 40% clean in the village. But Alhamdulillah, so far Allah has granted us a very proper irrigation, pipings, okay, drainage that we can appreciate, all right? Unlike some other unfortunate countries, they don't have this accessibility. They don't have these facilities. So we have to be grateful. You have to go vertically, submit back to Allah, and then say, Alhamdulillah, this is what Allah has granted to us. And after that, we have to appreciate this by, reflecting towards conserving the resources. The Prophet say again, the benefit of a thing is in return for the liability attached to it, right? The benefit of a thing, like a river just now, is in return for the liability attached to it. Okay, later on, all right, if you get a benefit from the river, but later on, you also need to in turn, conserve it or protect it. And later on, it can be also a source of reward for you. Much environmental degradation is due to people's ignorance of what their creator requires of them. People should be made to realize that conservation of the environment is religious duty demanded by God. So this is fardu ain. This is not fardu kifayah. It is compulsory for us to take good care of the nature, because Allah has demand us to do that. Okay, this is the order from the God. And do good as Allah has been good to you, and do not seek to cause corruption in the earth. Allah does not love the corruptors. Okay, so this is one of the verses from the Quran that us as a Muslim, do not create a corruption, okay, in the earth. It can be in the environmental, it can be to the land, it can be to the people, it can be to the river, it can be to the atmosphere, it can be to the material, it can be to anything, okay, as long as they are in the earth. And Allah does not love those who create chaos or bad deeds in this earth. Okay, so that's the a discussion. So we want to create a society like a green ummah and also eco wudu. So from this context, anyone want to share what do they understand from this notion? Anyone want to raise hand? Auni, go on.
All right. I think one issue about wudu is that we understand about the wasting. We waste the water. So as we all know that in our country, Alhamdulillah, it pretty much accessible to all to all states, as we can see the clean water. But if we see like globally, not all countries can afford for clean water, and we have countries, for example, like the third world country that is struggling, that are actually drinking pollute water that actually can resulting to diseases for them. So from I understand what is eco from this issue is to not waste water and use it pretty much as little as we can. And this is what I think like one significant experience that I ever had in my life is when I perform Umrah with my family. You know what? In order for us to replenish our wudu, the actual places like the place for us to take wudu is quite far away from everywhere we are in around the Masjid al Haram, right? So we learn to take wudu just with the bottle spray. So if I want to compare like the amount of water we really need to actually take wudu with what we actually do in Malaysia is pretty much different. So we actually just need a little water to take wudu, to replenish the wudu. But yeah, we can see that sometimes people in the masjid, they not sensitive with this issue. I think it is very important for all of us to actually think and remember those unfortunate people that can't even have access to clean water for us to sustain and have a moment of realization on this.
Okay, thank you, Oni. It's a reflective of what we've been discussing. So, the eco means related to the environments or the ecosystem, and you use the water very wisely. You're not, excessive in terms of the amount or the volume of water that you have used. So, it's quite difficult to find a people, okay, even though it's ulama, not so scholars, like professors. When I have the experience to go to the masjid, for example, when we take the wudu from the wudu area, and the what we call the pipe, okay, not the pipe, what do we call it? You have to pull it, right?
Faucet.
I mean, again,
Faucet.
faucet, yeah, the faucet, and then you need to pull it down, and after that the water will come out, right? So we have like a sunnah to make like 3 times, okay, 3 times wudu. Okay, so in between like 3 times, you just keep the water flowing, and then 3 done. Okay, not like 1, and then you have the interval in between, rest, and then the second one, rest, and then the third one. Okay, so that's considered as 3, even though this is sunnah, or this is what we call encourageable for you to do this, but very very few that I can find that people in between, okay, when the water flowing, when they rest, they want to take time and then close it off, switch it off first. And then when you want to open it for the second one, yeah, obviously it's taking time, but by practice you can get familiar to it. Okay, this is one way. Okay, during the rest, make sure you keep, close it. All right, don't waste it. This is one of the realization for you, I mean, to practically practice, okay, so that you can relate with the hadith that the Prophet said, do not excessive even though the river is flowing. Okay, the other way
Doctor,
is, yes,
if I may add, I think we have this notion that if you're taking wudu like slowly, you are more khusyuk and more appreciating the wudu. But I don't think so. It is that idea, right? I think
Look,
that's most people maybe in our country we have that notion. Kind of like if you take slowly, you are very khusyuk, you are very appreciating the wudu.
well, from my understanding, Islam does not make it complicated for us. Okay, like as I said, the one that I've mentioned just now, like 3 times, you have to close it in between. Okay, there's the second way is to do that, is like you know, you like accumulate the water at one time, okay, and after that you just quickly wash your hand, okay, once only, okay, it depends. All right, so you already passes the fardu, or the wudu become sah, right? But if you want to take more, that's fine. But by doing the first one, the second way, okay, but you still get the reward. But at the same time, you also have the reward for not wasting the water. All right. Regarding the question from Auni, some people say, like, you know, you are taking time, you are very khushu. It depends. Okay, as long as the wudu, okay, the wudu can be accepted as long as you have removed all the blockings or any stains or any stains or any stains that blocking you from receiving, or any surface that is blocked from receiving the water. Okay, so until you have, you know, complete this, satisfy all what the prophet used to say, then it's permissible. Okay, regarding the speech, okay, it depends, people are at different pace. Okay, some people are very, you know, very careful in terms of, you know, handling things, and then they want to see their fingers and see. And then in fact, lots of the scholars used to say that when we want to make wudu, you have to imagine when you wash your hand, so this is the hand that make the fasad, the very bad things in this world, to yourself, to your body. All right, it begins with your hands. All right, so it's kind of remembering. And when you talk about khushu during taking wudu, it can be, you know, sensible, because when you wash your hand, you keep on reminding you about what happened. Okay, what has you done, what have you done before. Okay, if you clean your face, okay, what you have done with your face. Okay, do you use your face for, you know, for any worldly gain or any not so good objectives, right, or purposes. When you wash your food, okay, do you observe, okay, this is the food that I used to go to a very, you know, haram places, right? Okay, so you wash it and then you make a dua after you finish with the wudu. Like the ears, so Islam have, like, you know, there's kind of reflection. When you clean your ears physically, it does means you cleaning all the dust, all the bacteria, all the microbes, right? But spiritually, it's also does mean that you are cleaning anything. Okay, if you heard about the backbiting or false news, so you have to filter it out. So you make dua from Allah, Ya Allah, please, okay, protect these ears from hearing any fake news or anything unnecessary or not beneficial to you. Okay, so this is one of the way. In fact, Islam is the solution to these environmental issues, to the extent that Islam offered the tayammum for us. In the case of no water, we have the tayammum for us to still, you know, make ibadah. We can still pray. Okay, so that's the how Islam has injected us with lots of solution, provide us with various methods or ways of how we can survive in this world, but at the same time still adhere to vertically submit to Allah, or the command of the God. Islam calls for the efficient use of natural resources, waste minimization. You can eat, you can drink now, okay, but waste not by excess. All right, all the cups, okay, the drink cups, the coffee, latte, cappuccino, espresso, americano, you drink, then you just throw away. So instead you have to recycle it. You think, that's okay, I'm only the single person in this house, I will just combine it with the domestic waste, with the fish bones, and also with the chicken bones, and you have all the meats. All right, you combine with the paper based what we call waste. So this is not good. It should start from yourself. When Allah say eat and drink, You can eat whatever you want, you can drink whatever you want, but waste not by excess. Do not waste. Okay, he loved not the excessive. And do not follow the bidding of excessive, who cause corruption in the earth and do not work good. Okay, same goes with the previous one. And do not cause corruption in the earth when it has been set in order. Similar that we have been discussing just now. The teaching of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us about the importance of the proper use of the water without wasting it. Don't waste water even if you are on a running river. He also said, whoever increases more than 3, he does injustice and wrong. Regarding the water pollution as well, the water plays another socio-religious functions for cleaning, as we mentioned just now. You know, for istinja, any najis like mughallaza, mukhaffafa, mutawassita, you know about this and how to use the water properly. If the cat, for example, come and you know, defecate on the sofa bed in your room or in your house, so what you gonna do? Are you going to take like 1 ton of you know, water, and then you know, you just dump it on the sofa? Or how do you remove the what we call the feces, right? The Prophet already told us how to remove this, how to do the istinja. You have to take like a very hard surface structure, like the stones or small stones, and then just, you know, wipe through it, okay, 3 times, okay, and that's already complete or satisfied to make it soft for your prayers, right? You can already use that. It means that Islam is very minimal, okay, at the same time it provides the people with a solution, okay. So this is not known from, I mean, the non-Muslim perspective. This is not been treasured by them. So we as a single person need to educate people, the non-Muslim especially, what they should do, what they shouldn't do. This is the context of Islamic way of doing things. So you have the power, or you have the encouragement to tell them, okay, so that they will become, you know, they will become knowledgeable about what is Muslim are now practicing. Okay, in light of this facts, Islam stress on preventing pollution of water. Okay, so this is same like what we have discussing. Urinating in water or discharging wastewater into water stream, and washing or having a bath in stagnant water are forbidden act in Islam. You see, this urinating in water, you know, in your urines it can contain lots of different types of microorganism, bacteria. Okay, so then if you discharge inside the free water, it can contaminate other people who are accessing to it. Okay, and washing or having a bath in the stagnant water. Okay, stagnant water is not safe because it accumulates all the bacteria, and the bacteria complacent, become comfortable in it, and then become dividing, and after that it can cause harm to the cause diseases to the people. The Prophet said no one should bath in still water when he is unclean. Okay, so like some of the house or some of the washroom, you have the tap, what we call it, the bathtub. Yeah, the bathtub. People used to soak, I mean, inside it, and then, you know, take bath in it for like maybe 15 to 20 seconds. But I think based on my understanding, that's okay, but do not exceed 20 minutes because the bacteria will start to accumulate, right? Even from the health perspective as well, you are not allowed to soak your body too long inside the water, because the bacteria will start to come in contact with your body parts or body channels. All right, so you have to reflect with what the Prophet have said, that these, like, no one should bath in still water, okay, when he is unclean, unless you have the flowing water in your bathtub. That should be fine. Okay, sustainable forestry. it's important for us to take care of the plants. Okay, what type of plant, wherever plants a tree and look after it with care until it matures and become productive, will be rewarded in the hereafter. And if anyone plant a tree, also a field of and man, beasts of or birds eat from it, he should consider it as a charity on his part. And in some other occasion, the Prophet also told us that when the Qiyamah, when the day of judgment is so approaching, all right, if when you have the seed in your hand, remember that hadith, yeah? When you have the seed in your hand, you have to go and grow it, okay? You have to plant it. Even though the Qiyamah is about to come to you, this is an indication to show us that what you do in this world will be rewarded. Any good deeds, as small as, you know, planting a seed, it can be rewarded. All right. So this is important for you to protect the type of species that we have in this earth. Okay. So if may I know if any of you here are gardening, love to gardening, to garden or to plant plants? Yeah.
Me,
My
Shifa.
mother.
What do you plant, Shifa? What do you grow?
Pokok keladi.
What
Sawi.
for? You in village, in kampung or in bandar?
Kampung.
Kampung apa?
Kampung apa? Bagan Dato' Perak.
Bangan Dato' Perak. Pokok apa? Pokok keladi. Pokok keladi kita
banyak.
guna untuk buat
Boleh
apa?
makan, keladi. Macam tu.
Siapa tanam
Kalau
tu?
yang keladi tu, mak saya.
Lah,
Sebab
ingat ke
dia suka
saya?
keladi. Saya juga. Dan saya yang kena watering dia. Saya lah juga kan.
How do you plant pokok betik? Papaya tree.
Seed lah kan.
I don't know.
Seed kan.
What seed?
What seed?
What seed? What seed?
Papaya seed lah.
Okay. Okay, now Shifa, I want to ask you question. How do you plant a papaya tree? Step by step process. Just one example.
Papaya bukan papaya betik kan?
Banana, pisang. Papaya betik lah.
Papaya mungkin okay, macam ni. Kan ada dia punya buah kan. Lepas tu kita ambil dia punya seed, kita dry it kan dulu. Lepas tu barulah kita tanam dekat macam tempat dia tu. Kan ada macam spot yang untuk dia tu kan. Kita tanam dah besar sikit tu kita tanam kat bawah tak
Now you know.
Kita buat batas kita nak.
Tak perlu batas. Pokok betik ni paling senang. Biji dia tu tabur je basah-basah tu dia
Tanam
kita tak payah keringkan dia.
Kalau labu ke yang kena kering? Tahu mak saya keringkan labu tu.
Labu tu lain.
Lain.
Okay. So now you know the papaya seed. The papaya seeds, okay, not the banana seed. Okay, the papaya seed, we have plenty of them, right? If you cut the betik, papaya into half, you got lots of the seeds, right? Thousands, maybe hundreds of seeds. How you want to handle this one? Look, how Allah has created the papaya in such a way it can provide lots of like hundreds of seeds. And if you can imagine, when you want to eat the fruits, you don't even bother about taking the seed and plant it. Okay, you just eat the flesh. Right? So where does the seed goes? To the dump bin, okay, the waste. Okay. So where is your reflection on this? Just take one seed and just throw it on the ground. After a week or two, they will start to grow. Believe me, because I did the same thing. I'm not talking to you without doing anything. I have practiced it. That's why I'm asking Shifa. If you're really doing that, tell me the way that you're doing it. All right. So look, in the papaya fruit, Okay, how many seed that you will have? Can you imagine if you have 100 seeds, you can grow 100 papaya trees. Okay, just within a year, and then they will start. And when the trees are mature and they will start to producing the fruits, yeah, the fruits, each of them, if they giving fruit, after you taking care of them, you will get a reward for that one. Okay, just one. But if you can combine with those 100 seeds, okay, can you imagine one tree can give 100 fruits? Okay, 100 times 100, 10,000. 10,000 ajr or reward that you will have. This does not include whether you want to share or not these fruits, the papaya, to your neighbors or to your friends. Okay, and when the papaya, coming out from the tree, you will take it, and again you will repeat the same cycle. You will cut it, and you will see there will be more and more seed inside it. It means that this is an indication saying that the whole ecosystem should be sustainable, should be continue on and on, okay, till the end of the day, to the day of the judgment, okay, till akhirah. It should be continuously maintained or continuously sustained. So this is one of the example. Okay, the question now is whether you want to take the papaya seed and plant it or not. You have to check your relationship with God. If you value these things, if you want to get ajr, you want to the tree to pray on behalf of you, then you have to start from today. Okay, Shifa, everyone? Auni, okay? Anis?
Okay.
Hausa, Rafida?
Yes, very good.
Okay. Okay lah. Is it okay? You want to continue or you want to stop here? You will have 1 more hour to
Okay
go.
lah. Okay.
Okay, what? Okay, stop or okay, continue.
Continue. Continue
You want to
boleh.
take 5 or you don't want?
Take 5.
Okay, we take 5 lah. Okay. You can start to eat, drink, and then you have the time 5 minutes from now. Then I will continue for the next slides. All right, everyone? Good, good. Okay, stay active. Okay, after this, I will ask more questions. Thank you. We'll see after 5 minutes, yeah? Hello, everyone. Is it okay? Can we continue?
Okay, Doctor.
Yes, betul.
Okay, let's continue with the second part of the session. Let's have a look if I can share the screen. Check if is it going to. What should I- Can you see the screen or not? Yes.
Yes,
Yes, betul.
yes, Doctor.
Okay, good. This is the Islam and social sustainability, the second component that we want to discuss, right? So the engagement questions again, how does Islam treat non-Muslim? So I would like if you have more examples how Islam treat the non-Muslim, you can take example from during the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam period, and also you can integrate the one that we have now in our countries, or maybe some other regional countries. Anyone? How does Islam treat the non-Muslim? I mean, this is the social context. How do we treat them? Okay, equally or similarly, or we don't bother about them? So how do we want to include them inside our planning? So how does Islam encourage us? I mean, the way that we can treat the non-Muslim. Anyone have example? Auni, yes. Zahira. Auni raise hand first. Okay, Auni go on first. After that, Zahira, yeah?
All right. I think one of the achievement in the Islamic history is the Charter of Medina, Piagam Medina. When the first our Prophet Muhammad SAW established, conquer Medina itself and introduce the Charter Medina, it actually been set a very good example for the next generation and the next, I will say, era and embassy for them to, the importance of Charter Medina and how it proposed the idea of all religions are being appreciated and all are living in under one countries, but under Islam regulation. I think it's been set a very good example that Islam is actually a religion that appreciate all religions and the multiracial and multi-religions in under one country. So in a specific way, what can I say? How does Islam treat non-Muslim? We treat them equally, like how we treat Muslim itself. So there is no there is no hierarchy in terms of who is better and who should receive better treatment. Because in Islam itself, everyone is equal, everyone receive same treatment as long as they didn't violate whatever been set up in the rules and regulations that all leaders of representative of every religion has been agreed upon. So I think how Islam treats Muslim is equally, and it's I think the most fair and equal way any other religion could introduce.
Okay, thank you,
That is
Auni.
about it.
Okay, good, brilliant. So this one of the things that we as a Muslim already been practiced this. I mean, since the time of the Prophet, that everyone in the eyes of Allah are equal. Okay, the differences, okay, what makes the difference is only the taqwa, or the what we call is how how piety they are. Okay, so the second one who's want to speak out just now, Zahira, isn't it? I would like to see your views, and I want to relate with what Auni has said. Yeah.
Yes, my point same as Auni. But I want to add some more.
Go on.
We can see Nabi Muhammad treat non-Muslim as it can be our guide to treat non-Muslim people, such as Abu Talib if I'm not mistaken, his father, his bapa saudara, Abu Talib. Even he is kafir, but Rasulullah treat her nice, properly, and Rasulullah and Abu Talib I very love Abu Talib until he asked Allah to ringankan beban dekat kubur. So I think that's all.
Doctor, did you say something? You unmute. You should unmute.
I think you're muted, Doctor.
Oh, sorry. Zahira, is it finished?
Yes.
Can you repeat the last part of your talk just now?
My point same as Auni. Just I want to add by Abu Talib, that is bapa saudara Nabi,
Yes.
is kafir, but Rasulullah paling sayang dia. Until he asked Allah to give ringankan azab kubur satu hari. If I'm not mistaken.
Abu Talib masuk Islam ke tak masuk Islam?
Tak masuk.
Abdul Muttalib? Siapa Abdul Muttalib?
Abdul Muttalib, bapa saudara. Abdul Muttalib.
Abdul Muttalib siapa?
Grandfather.
Datuk.
Grandfather, Datuk.
Abdul Muttalib Datuk. Masuk Islam ke tak masuk Islam?
Masuk, memang Islam.
Masuk Islam ke tak masuk Islam?
Masuk.
Abu Talib?
Abu Talib bapa saudara.
Masuk Islam ke tak masuk Islam?
Tak masuk.
Tak masuk.
Tak.
Yang Zahira cerita tadi tu Abdul Muttalib ataupun Abu Talib?
I wrongly speak Abdul Talib. Abu Talib.
So you mean Abu?
Talib.
Okay, Abu Talib. Yes?
Yes.
So Abdul Muttalib is grandfather of the Prophet. Yes?
Yes.
Muslim or not Muslim?
Muslim.
Are you sure?
Muttalib.
Abdul Muttalib, the grandfather, Muslim or not Muslim? This is our Prophet. Come on, everyone. This is soalan darjah satu. Okay, you can find now. Try to find. Abdul Muttalib, the grandfather of the Prophet, Muslim or non-Muslim? Anyone?
Kafir.
Kafir. Okay, non-Muslim, yeah?
Yeah. Oh. Abu Talib also non-Muslim.
Abu Talib also non-Muslim.
Okay.
Yes, correct. Everyone, did
Correct.
you find out the answer? Anyone else? Is it correct? Both are non-Muslim?
Abu Talib is the
Uncle.
I think Abu Talib is Muslim, right? Because he also preaching the message of Islam.
Okay, now is your job. Okay, this is very important issues. This is our prophet. We just celebrating the Maulid. The
Yes, Doktor. Abu Talib merupakan abang kepada bapa Nabi Muhammad. Dan kejap. We have to read it back. That's about. I have to read it. That's about.
Doctor, no.
Google it say Shia believe that Abdul Muttalib Muslim. So
no, we are not
Kafir.
Shia. We Quran and we
So
are
he
Sunni.
kafir.
We are Sunni. We are Maturidi Asy'ariyah. Maturidiyah. Our Syariah. We follow the method. Not Shia. Our manhaj is Sunni. Not Shi'i. Okay, not Shi'i or Shia. No. Look at the Sunni resources.
Doctor,
Yes, Anis, go on.
I am confirmed that Abu Talib is a non-Muslim. Every day
Abdul Talib, again, new name. Abdul Talib.
Abu Talib.
Abu Talib, okay.
Yeah. Abu Talib is a non-Muslim. Berdasarkan ingatan saya, Doktor, every day Rasulullah always ajak Abu Talib to convert to Islam.
Okay.
Until the last day Abu Talib still Abu Talib still not convert to Islam, and Rasulullah even doa to Allah, do a doa to Allah to kurangkan azab neraka bagi Abu Talib. Is it right?
Okay. Is it correct? No. Who was?
Yes, correct.
I'm sure, insyaAllah lah.
Dua non-Muslim, Doktor.
Who?
Abdul Muttalib and Abu Talib.
Both are
Bukan
non-Muslim.
Yes, both of non-Muslim.
Are you sure? Because
Yes.
the Prophet cousin is Ali bin Abi Talib or Abu Talib. Yes. Abdullah and Abu Talib is sibling.
Naam.
Abdullah,
Yes.
younger brother. Abu Talib, elder brother. Yeah.
Yes.
Abdullah have son, Prophet Muhammad. Abu Talib also have son, Ali.
Ali.
Sayyidina Ali, yeah?
Betul.
And then Sayyidina Ali and the Prophet Muhammad are cousin.
Doktor,
Yes, okay. Another views. Who's this?
Nas.
Nas, go on, Nas.
Yang pasal datuk dia tu Islam tak Islam, saya ada baca yang macam mana dia nak Islam sebab Nabi Muhammad baru berapa tahun umur. So agama
Yeah.
Islam tu masih tak wujud. Belum wujud lagi. Tapi kita ada agama samawi iaitu agama Allah. Jadi agama langit. Jadi kalau belajar sirah dulu, Abdul Muttalib ni jawatan dia sebagai pemegang kunci Kaabah. So macam mana orang biasa ataupun takkan orang biasa lah untuk dapat amanah tu. Jadi Abdul Muttalib ni sendiri, datuk dia sendiri adalah seorang yang sudah diberi amanah besar. Jadi kenapa dia beri amanah besar? Sebab dia ni seorang yang taat kepada agama. So kalau persoalan tentang dia tu Islam ke tak, dia bukan Islam tapi dia sangat taat ke terhadap agama dia yang dulu tu. Macam tu lah. So dia still orang yang beriman lah. Macam tu.
Okay, thank you, Nas. Correct. Okay, so during the Prophet's time, okay, the grandfather, which is the father of Abdullah and also Abu Talib, yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Okay. So this goes to like only 2 years, around 2 years. In some riwayah, okay, in some books they put it about 2 years. When the Prophet's about 2 years, Abdul Muttalib passed away. All right. So at 2 years, so there's no way that Abdul Muttalib can receive the message that the Prophet want to deliver. Okay, but he already know, okay, he already noticed, Abdul Muttalib already noticed that there are some weird things happen. I mean, during the day, during the day and before the day, the Prophet comes to the earth, okay, comes to the world. All right, there are lots of things happening during the time of the birth of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. All right, so Abdul Muttalib already know that this is, you know, the messenger of God. He already noticed this. All right, but he could not receive the message because at the time the Prophet's only 2 years, about 2 years. And after that, what happened? After that, Prophet is taken care by who?
His mother.
His
uncle.
okay. By taken care by who? Abu Talib. Yes.
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 Yes. Okay. So what time did the Prophet been taken care of his mom and dad? And this is a quiz.
Ayah dia meninggal awal. Mak dia sampai umur 6 tahun.
Berapa tahun? Berapa
6.
tahun umur Nabi waktu mak dan ayah dia meninggal?
4 bulan ayah dia dalam kandungan. 6 tahun mak dia on the way nak pergi pusara bapak dia ke atuk dia lah. Dia meninggal,
Okay.
mak dia.
Alright. Correct. After that, what happened to the Prophet? Who's taking care of him?
Pakcik dia,
Who's that pakcik?
Abu Talib.
Now is Abu Talib come into action.
Yes.
Abu Talib, yes. So the first time is Abdul Muttalib taking care of him, you know, preparing and start noticing that this is a very good person will come out from the womb of his, daughter-in-law. Okay, so after that, been taken care. After that, his father Abdullah passed away while he's still inside the womb, and after that 6 years, Aminah passed away. And after Aminah passed away, the Prophet has been taken care of Abu Talib. So Abu Talib is his uncle. Okay, he's really
Yes.
in love with the Prophet. He even used to take the Prophet traveling to various places, to the Sham, everywhere. Okay, for tradings, for business purposes. Okay, and at some point, the Prophet Muhammad SAW also spent his childhood at a very rural area. All right, even though he is grown in Mecca, okay, he was born in Mecca, but later in his life, in the childhood life, he was brought up in a very rural area where he is being sent to Halimatus Sa'diyah. Okay, so that's the rural area. That is where he start to become a strong person. He start to deal with the animals, how to take care of the livestock, okay, with the sheep, right? How to become strong in terms of the body. Because if the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam stay in the the town in the Mecca, okay, during the childhood, he will not progress that much. Okay, lots of influence of exposure that he can receive from living in the town. Okay, there's a reason behind it why the Prophet been raised inside the rural area, inside the village. Okay, how the Prophet has been assigned to take care of the sheep, how he can manage the sheep, because this is one practice or tarbiyah for the Prophet to take care of people later on. Okay, so this is the way that the Prophet, okay, it's quite important for us to know the lifetime of the Prophet, who are the people related to him, what time his family members pass away. We need to know how many relatives he's got, how many uncles, how many wives, how many kids, all right, did the prophets have. Okay, by looking at the biography of the Prophet, it will increase your iman, and you will feel that every single incident, every single occasion, since he was born till the death, okay, 1001, okay, there are more than 1001 reflections that we can extract and practice. All right, so how does Islam treat non-Muslim? How does the Prophet, okay, as the supreme example, how does the Prophet treat the non-Muslim? Okay, dealing with with Abu Talib, dealing with the Christians, dealing with the Jews. Okay, some of you said, oh, it's equally. Okay, but remember, when the Prophet has been assigned as the messenger, what age during that time? He's at what age when he first assigned as a messenger?
40.
40.
Around 40, yes? Okay. There are series of wars that he has attended. Okay, there are some wars that Prophet attend, and some of them he could not attend due to several reasons. Okay, there are also some small war or small battle that the Prophet used to send his people or his fighter to go for that. Okay, and during the war, okay, during this war, any series of war, okay, if you want to relate with the one that we are studying now, the social justice, how the Prophet applied the social justice to the non-Muslim, you can find it in the Piagam Madinah. Okay, Madinah Treaty. If you look at it, you can think that, oh, you have the perception that this is bias. It means it's more benefits the non-Muslim than the non-Muslim. There are lots of principle or tenets that are important in this Madinah Treaty. One of those is like the highlighting the social justice. If you want to relate with what happened to the Prophet during this time, yes. Anyone? Piagam Madinah? This one become like her pendidikan Islam because it does related, and in fact, this is the purpose of this session. Anyone have these the copies for Piagam Madinah? Maybe you want to share with me. We want to see how the Islam treat the non-Muslim based on the Piagam Madinah. This is the realistic example for us to relate. Anyone? Anyone? Piagam Madinah, quick, you have learned this in the secondary school. No? Anyone want to share? Anyone? Anis want to
Doctor,
share something? Yes?
one of Piagam Madinah is about all people who live in Madinah can choose their religion, right?
Okay.
They free to choose their religion as long as they respect the rules of Medina. Is it right?
Yes.
Okay. So this one of the rule can prove that Islam does not force the people to choose Islam. Instead, the people can choose Islam based on dia berdasarkan kerelaan hati. Okay.
Thank you, Anis. Zahira,
That's
thank you for yes, someone want to say something? Thank you for Auni for the link. Thank you, Zahira, for the fasal or inside the Piagam Madinah. A big question. So, how many fasal do we have? Okay, how many chapters? How many items do we have in the Piagam Madinah?
27. Yeah.
47. Okay, how do you categorize them? How do you categorize them? 47? Based on what? 23 is for who? 24 is yes.
Umat Islam dengan umat Islam. Umat Islam dengan umat bukan Islam.
Okay, it's yes, it's correct, but the what
23,
we call
23 for umat Islam, Ansar and Muhajirin.
Ansar and Muhajirin. Okay, 24 is
24 umat Islam and Yahudi and so on.
Yahudi and so on. Okay, and other religions. Okay, very good. Okay, so you see, there's around 47 items inside the Madinah. Okay, you don't need to go and find another, another country's way of doing this. Islam already have a complete items or the complete treatise, the complete principle how they can treat the non-Muslim. Physically, if you look at these items, you say that, oh, this is bias, is more towards the, benefiting the non-Muslim, but actually in the long run, it does benefit Islam. In other words, the Piagam Madinah is a sustainable treatise, is a sustainable solution for us to take into example, like what do we call the principle number 8. Those non-Muslim, they have the rights on the religions and also the rights on their financial gains or their capitals, right? Same like now in Malaysia, we have non-Muslim, you are free to gain your economic or your profits. You have the rights towards your own religion. You are happy, you are free to practice your own religion. Okay, this is reflecting what the Prophet have highlighted previously. And also in this principle number 8, okay, it says that they shouldn't be forced to embrace Islam, and their gains or economic profit should not be seize. Okay, we should not take them, take from them. All right, this is their right to do business, to do any financial activities. It's up to them. Okay, but the thing that they need to observe is that they have to adhere, or they have to acknowledge that Islam is the only religion. Okay, they should be known, that they should be told that Islam is the ruling religion for that current situation, and the Prophet Muhammad is the like the prime minister of the Muslim territories. Okay, so they have to acknowledge, even though they are making these business activities, but at the same time they need to acknowledge that the Prophet is the leaders, and the country is now is a Muslim country. Okay, and most of them are benefiting the non-Muslim as well as the Muslim. In terms of the spiritual, in terms of the welfare, they are all covered inside the Piagam Madinah. Okay, for your excitement, if you want to include this, it would be great. Okay, man as a Khalifa on earth. So this is like a triangle. So this is not a Freemason or Illuminati, whatever. Okay, so this is just a pyramid to show three main components involved in, you know, creating Islam as a rahmatan lil alamin. It's a holistic framework that every people, okay, will serve as the Khalifa. You as your own entity, as a single person, need to practice or need to become the uswatun hasanah, the example. And we need to have the social responsibility towards the community, like the shura concept, where you have a meetings, where you have a gatherings for you to achieve the consensus. And at the same time, you have to deliver your job or your responsibility as a amanah from God. Okay, whether you as a student, this is amanah from the university for you to satisfy. This is amanah from your mom and dad for you to go to the university and learn knowledge, all right, to study. And these are all the interrelated components in order to create Islam as a rahmatan lil alamin. Rahmatan lil alamin means it can be practiced through by all of the people. Okay, people don't feel it's complicated or burden to practice Islam. Okay, so this is the interrelation. Like the social sustainability, you have to relate with the Rukun Islam and Rukun Iman, Fardu Ain and Fardu Kifaya. What is the operational basis for the social governance? You have to know this profession of faith, the Shahada, the Salat, Zakat, Saum, Hajj. Is that all? Okay, but this is the social related sustainabilities. When you create the Shahada, you are declaring that you are now a Muslim in front of the other Muslim. Means that you are making a tie, making a relationship. As one of you said just now, an ukhuwah, belongings. Okay, you are attached to it when you declare the Shahada as a Muslim. In the prayers, you can see the social responsibility, and it's sustainable when we are praying in Jama'ah. Okay, in Jama'ah. And in fact, you will have a greater reward for that. You have the alms, which is the zakat. Okay, you need to give zakat. Those people who have babies, okay, they need to perform the akikah for that particular babies. You have a special sadaqah if you want to give people. You can give zakat for people's studying knowledge. Pilgrimage, this is one of your responsibility. Okay, we go for Hajj. I mean, socially in a very large gatherings every year. And the tenets of Iman, Rukun Iman also, believe in Allah, believe in angel, believe in the Quran, believe in the Prophet, believe in the day of judgment, and believe in predestination. My question now, okay, before we stop the class, okay, this is gonna be the last slide for today. So how do you relate, okay, each of these tenets, okay, either tenets of Islam, rukun Islam, and tenets of Iman, rukun Iman, in delivering the social responsibility? Okay, the question is how you can relate the rukun Iman or rukun Islam with social sustainability, and each of these must come out with the proper example. Okay, so I need around 1 2 3 4 5 and 6 11 people, different people to speak and give example, and after that we can stop the class. All right, anyone? Mior, go on, Mior.
Yes, Doctor. I want to start with the tenets of Islam, profession of faith, Shahadah. So my point is, when we declare ourselves as Islam, when we said the Shahadah, we will declare ourselves, I will obey anything, any rules in Islam that I need to follow. So from that, I can conclude that we will always obey what Prophet Muhammad said, what Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala have ordered us. So one of the order given to us is to give to be a rahmatan lil alamin to people around us. So we will not we cannot destroy the environment around us. We need to take care of each other, and that is what will create sustainability among our society. That is my opinion. Thank you.
Oh, like Mior, if I what do we call, declare my shahada, okay? So how does my profession of faith can benefit other people, okay, in the social context?
When we declare ourselves as Islam, as I said before, we will be ready to obey any order given by Prophet Muhammad and Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. So one of the order is to be kind to each other, to sustain the environment around us. That is the benefit from the profession of faith to people around us. To
Okay.
sustainability. Okay.
Okay.
That's all.
Thank you, Mior. Very good. Okay. So when you declare your shahada, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah, you say that, okay, I declare hereby that the Prophet is the messenger of Allah and Allah is the only God. Okay. So you are creating a sense of belongings. Okay. When you're declaring to the other people, like when you say, when you Prophet Sola, we have the azan, the column for the prayers. Okay, it's like a signal that calling you, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, okay, ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah, a sense of belonging. When you make the azan, azan is a shi'ar, means that it should be exposed, it should be spread, it should be mentioned to other people. Okay, we cannot make azan just, you know, for own benefit. Yes, of course you can make azan in your house, but for the community to listen to it. There's lots of debates. Some say that, okay, don't make azan quite early in the morning, but that's a different topic. But I'm saying that originally azan is the call for prayers that have the sense of belonging. Same goes to the shahada. When you declare your shahada, you are kind like telling other people, I'm a Muslim, and you, so does you. Okay, so does you. So let us pray together. So in the social, or what we call social context, this thing should goes on and on towards the end of the day. Okay, should be continue. You cannot, you know, stop in between. Shahada or shahada should be declared. Okay, If it's not from non-Muslim, converted to Muslim, they have to profess inside in front of the Muslim scholars. Okay, so this must be work together with some other people or person. Okay, so I can see like lots of people are raising hand. I'm not sure which one come first, but I just see here, Rafida, you want to say something?
Yes, Doctor. I want to about prayer, solat.
Okay.
Solat. I want to talk about jemaah, solat jemaah, because we talk about social sustainability. So solat jemaah teach us that in life we have to macam mana kita kena hidup, kena ada satu leader. Macam kita kena percaya pemimpin kita. So kalau kita dan kita sebagai jemaah, kita soft kita sebelum COVID lah, kita kan rapat. So macam tu bersamaan dengan hadis Rasulullah yang cakap Muslim dengan Muslim adalah seperti satu bangunan. So bangunan maksudnya kukuh. Kita selama kita ada kukuhkan masing-masing. So kita tak boleh berpecah belah lah, sebab tu kita kena rapatkan soft, sebab tu kita kena ikut satu imam kita. Itu yang pasal solat.
Okay, very good, Rafida. It's very interesting that prayer. Okay, that's why if you're struggling, you cannot find someone. Okay, especially during this pandemic, you cannot find. But that's the only excuse. But you can do pray like in Jama'ah. Okay, you have to struggle. You have to strive for the best to get the Jama'ah, to pray in Jama'ah. Okay, try to avoid. Okay, I cannot say this because I'm also sometimes pray individually, but I will encourage everyone and each of us to do this because it will create a sense of belonging again. It can strengthen the Muslims' ties and Muslim ukhuwah. All right, the prayer, okay, it's not only during the azan, but preparation before it. Okay, what you prepare before the prayer? You have to prepare what? Wudu. You have to prepare the transportation if you are going to the masjid. All right. If you are praying at home, you have to prepare the sajadah, the prayer mat. You have to prepare a conducive environment for you to pray. You have to create an environment that is suitable or comfortable for you to achieve khushu. Not only for your own gain, but also some other people. And when you pray, like, the recitation, there are lots of riwayah that you can follow. Okay, like Haf and Asim, you can, recite very peacefully and do not rush. Okay, so this deals with the one like preparation before, during the prayer, and also after that. You want to recite dua with a together or alone. Okay, again, there's a lots of debates on this, like if you are not allowed to recite dua in a group, but the Prophet has already shown the example, so it is permissible as well. Okay, so this is one to highlight. Okay, the prayer as the energy as a Muslim. Okay, if you look at each countries, how well they pray, for the congregational as compared to the individual, how well they are rushing for the prayer. Okay, so you can imagine in Muslim nowadays, in Muslim country nowadays, only people rushing on the Friday, but not, Friday and Ramadan, Laylatul Qadr, but not only like the other days. Why is this thing happen? Okay, lots of people argue that, okay, it's better for me to not sacrificing this this Ramadan gain, because it's very full of reward. Okay, but some people say this is not good because you're only focusing only one deeds, but then you you try to make other deeds on their daily days as a regular, but not focusing that much on it. So this is not good also. But I don't know, this is belong to you. It's up to you. How do you feel of doing that? Okay, but we have to follow what the Prophet have encouraged us to do. Pray on time, one ajr. Okay, you get one reward. Okay, wudu, you get one reward. You pray congregational, you got 27 reward. And then you know, preparation before, jawab azan again, during the prayer, pray, you know, clean everything, prepare. And then after that one, you have the salat nawafil, salat sunnah, and then that's all can be combined as a reward. Remember, every single thing that you did for the sake of Allah is counted. All right. Thank you for that, Rafida. We have to rush a bit. You have class at 10, I think. Yes? No, 11. You have class. No.
No.
Can we spend around 10 more minutes? Is that
Yeah.
right? Or is that okay?
Yeah, we don't have class.
Yeah.
But
Sorry.
doctor, you remind us, you mentioned earlier that you have class at 10, right? Is it?
Yes, I mentioned them like I will start a bit late, like 10:15. So I think around 10 more minutes, if you don't mind. I already use your time. Okay. So just quickly, if
Yeah, that's fine with me.
people want to continue, if you want to say, I can see like lots of hand raised. Today I am collecting all the information of your name actually, because you are contributing to the discussion. Anyone want to continue? Abdul Rahman, go on.
Elaborate on belief in the day of judgment.
You want to choose the day of judgment. Okay.
Yes.
Go on.
So when one person believe in the day of judgment, that means they believe that the good deeds and bad deeds will be judged, will be measured, and will be paid. So either they will either go to the paradise or to hell. So of course they know that the hell is a very, very terrible place, a very bad place. So they must they have from the world, they must be planning to enter the paradise. So in order to enter the paradise, they must do good deeds including taking care of other people, feeding others, taking care of the environment, taking care of the hygiene of the environment, and also includes uh, avoiding themselves from like doing mess to the environment, like making trash at many places, like not throwing the trash in the trash bin, for example. So when a person believes in the day of judgment, they will tend to do more good deeds and will avoid all bad deeds because they target to go to the paradise. That's all from me.
Very good, Abdul Rahman. So the Prophet also used to say that when a person dies, okay, all their deeds except 3 will be counted. Okay, what are they?
They are the knowledge that is useful.
Okay, now
prayer
knowledge, yeah.
from-
Okay, then
Prayers from the children
okay,
and the sadaqah jariyah.
very good, Abdul Rahman, Ustaz Abdul Rahman, very good. So all of these things, okay, kind of summarize that, you know, if you believe in the judgment day, all these 3 main things, all the deeds ends except the 3: a continuity, a continuing charity, beneficial knowledge, and also child who prays for them. Okay, this is a muttafaqun alai, hadith riwayat Muslim. Okay, therefore Muslim must have, you know, must try their best to fulfill this social responsibility. You have the knowledge, right? It's social responsibility for you to give the knowledge to people or share the knowledge in this group. Second one, okay, you have the child who prays for them. Okay, make sure this is also a social responsibility. It deals with the human beings. When you grow, I mean, when you get married, then you have the child. Okay, make sure you raise them up very carefully. Right, this is your social responsibility towards them, so that in turn they can pray for you when you are already in the grave, right? Underground. And the final one is the continuing charity. Charity means that you are giving any of your money, of your belongings to people so that people can benefit from that. It is also a type of social responsibility. When you do a charity, people will pray for you in turn, okay? Even after you already been buried. Okay, and these 3 deeds are start to continuing. You can say it's a sustainable rewards that you can gain even though you already died. Okay, so this is the sustainable context that we want to see. Anyone wants to what we call relate any more points? Thank you, Abdul Rahman.
Me, Doctor.
Nur Rabiatul, go on.
But my topic is also belief in the day of judgment.
Abdul Rahman already discussed it. You want to give a new points? That's fine.
Just to add some more.
Of course, you can add some more. No problem. Go on.
Everything we did in this.
Rabiatul, okay?
Okay, Doctor. Jajab. Everything we did in this world will be judged and shown to us in Masya, even a particular things we did. The more nikmat we got in dunia, the more hisab we will face. The more nikmat yang kita dapat, lagi berat hisab yang kita akan hadap masa akhirat nanti. And the solution, we have to do more charity and be grateful. Macam ada zaman Rasulullah tu, ada perempuan ni, dia selalu solat dengan banyak puasa, tapi dia tak jaga mulut dengan jiran dia. Last sekali dia akan masuk neraka sebab social responsibility dia tak okay lah. And kalau untuk social responsibility, sedekah, charity, dia pun akan dihisap juga. Macam lagi banyak kita sedekah, lagi ringan beban kita dekat akhirat. That's all.
Very good. Nura Betul, so we are answerable. Okay, the more nikmah or the more reward or the more responsibility that we receive or the more amanah, then the more question will come from Allah. Okay, Allah will test us or will ask us what we have done with our responsibility. If you've been assigned with certain position or role and responsibilities, you have to be committed to fulfill them. All right, so you cannot take this into just a piece of what we call assignment, but we have to see it beyond that. Like those people with kids, they have the responsibility to take care. It's their amanah to raise the child well. Okay, it's not as simple as what we are saying, but this is the what we call the context behind it. Okay, thank you, Nurabiatu. I can allow one final sharing, okay, before we close the session, and after that we will continue with the next class. Okay, so who's the last one who wants to share?
Can I try, Doctor?
Who is this?
Manil.
Go on.
Okay, I want to talk about fasting. How fasting can contribute to sustainability.
Okay.
For me, when someone is fasting, of course the purpose is because Allah asks us to do it. But in besides that, we can also feel what the poor people feel when they didn't have food to eat, when they didn't have money to buy food, and we will feel, oh, mesti dia macam lapar apa semua. Kita akan lebih cenderung untuk bersedekah, lebih cenderung untuk nak bantu dorang, nak tolong dorang, and by that we can lessen the gap between the poor and the rich people. That's all from me. Simple one.
Luqmanul Hakim is zakat, yes?
No, I talk about fasting.
Oh, fasting. Okay, fasting. Again, your last point. Your last point. I miss your last point.
How about my point is fasting will make we feel how the poor feel when they hungry, when they have nothing, and this will make we want to donate for them, want to give them something to eat. That's it.
Very good. Okay, so you come out with the fasting. Saum means that you have to struggle to stand away from any food and drink for like maybe 12 to 14 hours. In some countries, you can reach up to 18 hours. I have the experience fasting like 18 hours and almost like reaching 20 hours in the north area. Okay, so it's very important for us to doing not only the during Ramadan, but also the sunnah one, because you want to talk about the sustainability, right? So if you're doing only Ramadan, does it consider as sustainable? No, right? It should be continuous. It should be maintained throughout the year. So how to do this? Maybe every month you have one special time for you to fasting, the sunnah fasting, like Isnin Khamis, or 13, 14, and 15, Ayyamul Bait, okay, the days of the white, okay, of every Islamic calendar. So this is the way that you want to feel the hunger that's being faced by the poor people. You can experience how do they feel, but actually the reflection behind it, not only for the poor people, that's the horizontal one, you need to go through the vertical one. Those people who are fasting, Allah will have a special eye on him, because it's only between him and Allah. Okay, Allah keep an eye on you, because the fasting is not for you, but actually it's for Allah. You keep your fasting as much as you can, abstain yourself from anything or any maksiyah, and then you will have the reward, because the fasting is for Allah, and also you can feel what the poor or the starved people experience. And remember, in between this Allah and also human being, you have the middle one. What are they?
Environment.
Yeah, so when you're talking about the environment, you are not fasting, you are fasting, you are not drinking or eating. So you're creating less waste to the environment. Okay, you consume less water and you consume less food, thus less waste being excreted or being produced from your activities. Okay, everyone, I think we should stop for now. We will continue these slides for next week. As we goes on, okay, I hope that you can participate more, because I'm collecting the marks for you. Some of you already text me very nice message. She said that worry about the answer is not very good. No, don't worry, this is no right or wrong, it's only your opinions. We just want how do you can speak in front of the public, how you can polish your communication skills. This is the place for you to shine, okay? The place for you to gain knowledge. Speak more in UIA in English should be fine, okay? But if you're struggling, mix Malay and English if you can, okay? Not totally Malay, but English, Arabic is better. Okay, although I cannot understand Arabic that much, I can understand here Shahadah, Salat, Zakat, Saum, Hajj, and I can read Quran too, so it's enough for me. Okay, everyone, don't forget to sign into your attendance. If you have friends that struggling to join the class, maybe you want to share the I attend link, and after this I will share the YouTube link for you to go through and then give some you know, not subscribe, don't subscribe, it's not a channel, but just for you to look and then gain something out of it. Other than that, I will provide the previous lecture slide to your group section. Please remind me if I'm not doing so. Okay, I'm welcome any question if you don't understand what we have been discussing so far. It's a cumulative point, and also we will drive, or we will head these discussions towards the assignments and your vlog or your blog or your journal paper articles. Yeah, if there's no more question, I think we better to stop here. Thanks very much. I'll see you again next week. Maybe Anis need to contact me to arrange for the a fixed time for you to have the class. Okay, everyone, don't forget to tanam betik. Okay,
Okay,
try
Doctor.
start with the small activity, small action. Okay, you will get reward for that. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Doctor.
Waalaikumsalam, Doktor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you,
Doctor.
Doktor.
Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.